One person we don't play about is Jasmine Crockett. So Miss Pam Bondi, you can keep your threats to yourself, because what you mean threat lightly? What you gonna do to her? You already silenced one person. You're not about to do it to her. She's not the one or the two. And she didn't tell those people to destroy Tesla. People been doing it on their own. She didn't tell people to return their Tesla, or she didn't tell the stocks to go down on Tesla. Elon did that to himself when he got involved in politics. So don't come out here like threatening people. She's not the one, all right? And we don't play about her. So you can keep that comment to yourself. Like, you care more about this freaking company than people. Like, you really want to, like, you're protecting this guy, Elon, over the American people. I don't know what he got over y'all, but at this point it's giving weird vibes. Like, y'all go above and beyond to protect this guy that nobody elected over the American people. Unfortunately, the ones that elected y'all. Like, are we for real right now?
Well, here we are again, our latest installment of the Crockett Chronicles. When? Maybe this is a rhetorical question. When are these white women going to learn not to go after Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett? During a Fox interview, Attorney General Pam Bondi warned Crockett to, quote, tread very carefully, end quote, just days after the Democrat spoke at a virtual rally for the Tesla takedown movement. If you don't think the Tesla takedown movement is serious, 85% crater in Tesla sales in Europe.
Attorney General Pam Bondi issued a public warning to Jasmine Crockett, telling her to, quote, tread carefully. Personally, what I find the most shocking about this warning is that it appears to be too little, too late. I believe there's enough evidence to arrest Jasmine Crockett and charge her with crimes. And if you think that's too extreme, at the very least, I think she should at least be censured by Congress. But before I get into all of that, let's take a look at the public warning that Pam Bondi issued.
You have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. And yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence. Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully, because nothing will happen to Elon Musk. And we're going to fight to protect all of the Tesla owners throughout this country, and it's this basic safety. Once again, domestic terrorism is going to come to a stop in our country.
So after Pam Bondi issued that very public warning, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett had the audacity to take to social media and claim that she never threatened anyone. She never incited any violence. This is her in her own words.
Just in case the slow people listening decide to click this up later, I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever, yet I've also never made excuse for those violent actors such as the ones on January 6th. So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with terrorism, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
First of all, whataboutism is not an argument. It is a distraction because you know you are under fire. Instead of being able to defend what she said, she is saying, hey, look over there, January 6th, because she has nothing she can say that would defend her past actions. January 6th, Jasmine, if you want to have that conversation, is a completely different conversation. Now, she says she never incited violence. She says she never said anything bad. I would like to show you your own words, Jasmine. What did you mean by this when you said that Ted Cruz needs to be hit on the head?
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. You know, I think and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him. Like, at all. Like, you go clean off on him, right?
So how is that not a violent threat? How is that not inciting someone to violence? There are over 360 million people in the United States. And unfortunately, with mental illness or just radicalism, heck, terrorism, your words can have a profound impact. All it takes is one crazy person to do one crazy thing, and we could be at a national crisis. As an elected leader, you have so much more responsibility. Your words carry so much more weight. So yeah, you do need to be careful with what you say. As Pam Bondi said, you need to tread very carefully. But it's not just that outright threat of violence against Ted Cruz. It was also against Elon Musk. As Pam Bondi said, Jasmine Crockett put out there, hey, just for my birthday, which is here in a few days. Today is March 24, March 29, 5 days away. Just for my birthday, someone can you just please...
Buckle up, you all, because things just got heated. Congresswomen Jasmine Crockett is under fire for speaking out against Tesla and Elon Musk, and now Trump-appointed Attorney General Pam Bondi is throwing out warnings, accusations, and gets this even the possibility of criminal charges. Did Crockett actually incite violence, or is this just another case of conservatives trying to silence black voices? And why is the US Attorney General out here demanding apologies to the Tesla shareholders like it's a damn montage? Meanwhile, the right-wing outrage machine is in full effect, with accusations flying that Jasmine Crockett is a threat to national security. But wait, wasn't this the same people downplaying January 6th? And of course, the usual suspects are showing up with the racist dog whistle and over-the-top meltdowns. Seriously, why are they always this mad? So let's break this all down. What is really happening? Why is a black congresswoman being threatened for exercising her First Amendment right? And who stands to benefit the most from all the political theater? Grab your popcorn because we are diving in.
It's getting real thick in the house. Pam Bondi is stating that she intends on bringing Jasmine Crockett up on charges if she continues her rhetoric against Elon Musk. She feels that the rhetoric that Jasmine Crockett is encouraging is causing harm to his businesses and actually is like threatening his life. And that no sitting member of Congress should be performing this way. I guess the loudest mouth in the South is going to get real quiet around here. This is the second incident that they have called her to the carpet for. They're not playing. It's getting real serious out here. I suggest that she start doing something different. Yeah.
So this is Representative Jasmine Crockett, and she is her. And this blonde, bad-built, butch body bitch, too, is Pam Bondi, and she is the Attorney General appointed by Donald Trump. This is her, Jasmine Crockett, and this is a snow roach. So this snow roach, in her authority as Attorney General of the United States, decided to threaten Jasmine Crockett for speaking out against Elon Musk.
Maria, now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. And yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence. Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully because nothing will happen to Elon Musk. And we're going.
The irony. The irony of an Attorney General of the United States appointed by Donald Trump talking about somebody making violent threats against somebody else, which Jasmine Crockett did not do. But the irony is not missed on us. So if this administration, through its mouthpiece, Snow Roach, Pam Bondi, wants to threaten the free speech of Jasmine Crockett, I know a lot of you all are sitting out doing nothing, but the rest of us that are still fighting, I need you all to join me to send a message. And that message is going to be clear. We don't play about Jasmine Crockett. Now, fuck around and find out. Let's get it.
Yo, Mo, somebody gonna do something about Jasmine Crockett shit, aka Jazzy Jerkoff? Nobody's gonna do nothing about that? We're not gonna put a stop to that? We're gonna condone that? That's real nice. That ghetto ass fucking jerk-off, that's what we want in our government. Real fucking nice. And we got the Democrat fucking morons, they're condoning that shit. What a fucking asshole she is. Who voted for that? Yo, if you voted for that, you're a capital fucking jerk-off. You're a fucking asshole. If you voted for that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Who wants that ghetto piece of trash in our fucking government? Real nice. Real fucking nice. Jasmine the jerk-off. Walking around like high and mighty, like she's untouchable. Watch. Pam Bondi, where you at? Fuck you at, Pam? We're gonna let that shit rock? Get that bitch the fuck out of here. We don't want her up there. Get her the fuck out of here. She makes our country look fucking bad. Her in a loud fucking mouth. Shut the fuck up. Jazzy Jeff and the fucking jerk-offs. Yo, get the fuck out. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out. You don't like it? Get out. Calling for violence, assaulting reporters. Real nice. Real nice. Yo, somebody better put a lock on that. Somebody better do something about that. Pam Bondi, where you at? Yo, just go ahead and tag Pam Bondi in this and ask her where the fuck she's at. Because this fucking asshole needs to be stopped right now. We've all had enough. Again, enough of another individual. We've had enough. Enough.
So Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who's black, is participating with an organization in some capacity that is protesting Elon Musk, and they're using the hashtag like Tesla takedown. And she was on a Zoom call with some of these folks the other day. And there were 4 people on screen. And at the bottom of each one of their boxes, it said, join a nonviolent protest. And they were talking about protesting peacefully at Tesla dealerships. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene accused Jasmine Crockett of fomenting domestic terrorism for talking about protesting peacefully at Tesla dealerships. Then Attorney General Pam Bondi said that Jasmine Crockett is walking a fine line, implying that she was going to prosecute her. And then Pam Bondi appeared on Sean Hannity's program tonight and demanded that Jasmine Crockett apologize immediately to Tesla shareholders. This is the Attorney General of the United States of America. What the fuck? And the big protest is this coming Saturday, March 29th. There are going to be protests nationwide at every single Tesla dealership and showroom and charging station from coast to coast. Every single one of them is going to be covered. There's going to be a protest at every single one of them. And Jasmine Crockett said during this live stream, March 29th is her birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. And that's when Pam Bondi said she needs to tread carefully. That's protected speech. That is 100% protected speech. But Pam Bondi acknowledged on Hannity's show that Jasmine Crockett did not mean that Musk should be physically harmed. Nevertheless, the Attorney General added that Crockett should apologize to the entire country, especially Tesla shareholders, saying the following: however, your words have consequences, and what happened after she said that about Elon Musk? She's a Texan, and in her own home state, after she said that this morning, 3 explosive devices were found in Austin, Texas. So she needs to unequivocally denounce the violence. She has. She must apologize immediately, not only to all Texans, but to our country, to the shareholders of Tesla, because she is promoting violence. Fuck you, Pam Bondi. That's also protected speech. Fuck you, Pam Bondi. This gaslighting bullshit and everybody in Trump's administration simping for a businessman who's arguably still here illegally. Elon Musk has never won an election. He's never run for office. He's never been confirmed to a position in the government by the United States Senate. And he's systematically destroying the executive branch. He wants to shut down Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. He wants to make it logistically impossible for people to collect the benefits from those organizations and the VA that they're entitled to collect. according to Trump and Pam Bondi and Elon Musk, if we protest against that, however peacefully, we are terrorists. So again, I will close out this video by once again saying, fuck you, Pam Bondi.
Alright, let's talk about what is really going on here. Rev. Jasmine Crockett is in the middle of this controversy because she dared to speak out against Tesla and Elon Musk. And predictably, the backlash has been loud, aggressive, and let's be real, full of bad faith arguments. Now we have got Trump's former Attorney General Pam Bondi jumping into the mix, saying Crockett is inciting violence and even hinting at criminal charges. Let's start with the facts. Crockett didn't tell anyone to go out and physically attack Tesla or Elon Musk. That is just not what happened. What she did was criticize Musk's business practice, his influence, and broadly how corporations like Tesla operate when it comes to politics and labor. But in America, the moment a black woman in power speaks with conviction, suddenly she's a threat, suddenly is criminal. Now let's talk about Pam Bondi. Why is she involved? Bondi was a major Trump ally and served as a Florida Attorney General before working for his administration. This is someone who has constantly aligned herself with right-wing politics, particularly in defense of big corporations and conservative figures. Her jumping in on this isn't about justice, it's about politics. It's about using fear-mongering to silence dissent. And let's not forget the bigger picture. Tesla has been at the center of multiple controversies, from allegations of racism at the factories to questionable labor practice. Musk himself is a powerful billionaire who has shown time and time again that he is not afraid to wield that power against his critics. So when Crockett called out Tesla, she wasn't just talking about Musk personally. She was calling out the larger system that allows billionaires to operate without accountability. But here is where it gets even messier. The media is twisting this into a story about violence. That is the go-to move. Anytime someone from the left, especially a person of color, challenges the status quo, the narrative suddenly shifts to accusations of being dangerous or inciting riots. Meanwhile, we have got politicians on the right who actively encourage hate speech, division, and even outright threats, and they get away with it. Think about January 6th, a violent insurrection carried out by people who were directly incited by Trump and his allies. People literally died, but what did the GOP do? They downplayed it. They defended the rioters, some of them even called those people pirates, and yet, here we are with the Bondi and others acting like Crockett was as some kind of national emergency. Make it make sense. The hypocrisy is staggering. We are in an era where free speech only seems to apply to certain people. If you are a billionaire, you can say whatever you want, attack whoever you want, and face zero consequences. But if you are a black woman in Congress using your voice to call out corporate greed and injustice, suddenly it's criminal. Suddenly it's dangerous. That is not a coincidence, that is by design. And let's talk about the Tesla shareholders Bondi is so concerned about. Since when does a US Attorney General act like a PR rep for a private company? People lose money on the stock market all the time. It's literally a gamble. But now, because a congresswoman criticized Tesla, we are supposed to believe that shareholders deserve an apology. That is ridiculous. Here's what this is really about: controlling the narrative. Powerful people do not like being challenged. They especially don't like being challenged by people they consider beneath them. Jasmine Crockett represents everything they fear. She's outspoken, she's intelligent, and she's not afraid to call them out. That is why they are coming for her. So where does this go from here? Well, Bondi and her allies will keep pushing this fake outrage in the conservative media. They will try to paint Crockett as a villain while ignoring the real issues. But the question is, will people fall for it? Because at the end of the day, this is about more than just Crockett or Tesla. It's about how power works in America. It's about how he's allowed to speak freely and who gets to punish for it. It's about how billionaires and politicians work together to keep the system rigged in their favor. So the next time you see someone like Pam Bondi trying to spin a story like this, ask yourself who benefits from this, who is really being protected, because I promise you, it's not everyday people like us. And with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this just another example of corporate and political power working together, or do you think there is more to the story? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.